Record. Good morning, everyone. Very happy to see several of you guys here today and joining us for another sales meeting, January 22nd. And we started out the year with, unfortunately, tragic, devastating wildfires throughout California, Southern California.
Hmm.
And it's really impacting so many just families, so many homeowners, even rentals and all the whatnot. Everyone is kind of in a big We're in a big national emergency declared recently. So I want to cover that as our hot topic for today. So I'll get into that with the agenda. That'll be most of the agenda for today and resources, support for you affiliates that are here today. Be mindful you have as much time as you want to share anything you want on news-wise or support resources, things to help out those in the wildfire areas, victim areas, as well as even the smoke damage that caused to some of the surrounding areas. So we'll be talking a little bit about insurance. We're going to be talking a little bit about claims. We're going to talk a little bit about how to help as a broker, realtor, or agent to our clients and reaching out. And hopefully they'll be insightful and informative and useful for everyone. So we'll start today with the affiliates. I think John Wax, you said you had to go somewhere, so I'll let you start us off first.
Thank you, Kelvin. John Wax with Snap NHD. My thought and prayers to all the victims and the firefighters and everybody trying to keep us safe and helping out and volunteering to help people get their lives into some semblance from these devastating wildfires. Um, Last word, it's over 90% contained, the Eaton fire, and I believe it's in the 70% in the Palisades fire. What happens when fires occur? When the rains come, you've got flooding. So you can check out to see any property, not only the fire zones, but you can see the flood zones as well, because that can also affect the desirability of properties and see what kind of devastation could occur after rains and things like landslides, mudslides, and things like that. Unfortunately, the burn goes all the way down to the roots, so there's nothing holding the hillsides in place. So it could be another issue. How do you find out about that? If you're on the buyer side or on the seller side, you can always check the hazard preview. You just go on my website, www.snapnhd.com, put the information in the property information screen, and then push start. On the right hand side, you'll see in and out determinations for the fire, flood, earthquake, fault, seismic hazard information as well. And then you can know upfront, even before you make an offer on a property, if that particular property is going to have issues. And as always, I say get in touch with an insurance broker because they're the ones that are going to guide you as far as cost and also availability of insurances. We do have the property tax estimator right on the website. It helps you figure out what supplemental taxes there are on a particular property because you know what the price is, you know the close date, and you know the address. You just put in, and automatically that information will pop up in seconds, and then you're able to consult. Because why does it happen? Because after close of escrow, 8 months, 6 to 8 months later, they get a bill and it says, hey, you owe this amount. And they'll go, why do I owe this? Because I have impounds. Well, impounds are for future taxes. The prorated tax bill that they're getting is from are the supplemental taxes that are owed for to the buyer. The buyer must pay. So those are the things, and I'll be doing classes and explaining all this great stuff. And then lastly, yes, it's required on all sale of property, and you can order it up front. I recommend that you order up front because there's no penalty to you or your client. You only pay if it closes, but um, that way you know if there's going to be an issue. And remember, we're the only ones with the free renters report, and I'm sure you'll be contacted by clients who need to find a place to live. You do have to provide the lease report. It's a flood zone only report and allows you to find that out. And if you need anything and want to talk about anything, whether it's NHD or anything, I'm here to guide you, console you, and explain to you anything of my services that I can help you with because I've been doing this for 30 years. And I want to make sure that you guys are protected and you have a good peace of mind. Thank you, Kelvin. I appreciate it. And I'm blessed to be a part of your office.
Thank you, John, for that update. Let's go ahead and move on. Nicole, you were here second. Nicole, want to join us?
Hi, good morning. Well, actually, almost afternoon. Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. It's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to join your meetings, Calvin. We appreciate you. And our thoughts and prayers go out to those who have been impacted by the fires, to the friends, family, and all the first responders. We truly appreciate you. And it's a blessing to see so many people coming together and unite to help one another. And that's what we need to do. And so I just wanted to let you know that I've been pushing out resources via email. If you need, and if you've missed my emails, if you need links, please let me know. I'm going to be dropping a flyer by the office regarding some possible tax reliefs for properties that are impacted by the disasters in LA County. So I'll leave that flyer. And again, I do have this in an email. So if you'd like me to send that to you, let me know. I'm going to put my information in the chat. And we're always, excuse me, we're always here to support you and provide you with the tools and resources.
She froze.
Did she freeze or was it me?
Yeah, I think it's her because I'm seeing other people still moving around.
Okay. I will get back to her. I'll do Scott next, and then we'll come back to Nicole, and then Scott, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Well, she's frozen. Okay, so I want to let me amend a little bit what John said about the supplemental tax. Okay, so the supplemental tax, first of all, it's one of the stupidest things in life. But I talked to Jeffrey Prang, the county assessor, and talking about how dumb it is that they're like having sending bills out for a lower amount and all this stuff. But supposedly they're trying to fix that and eliminate all that. But if you have an impound account, money should be set aside for that. The only issue is that the lenders do not know that a supplemental tax is necessarily being billed to the client. So the client needs to get to the loan servicer and let them know that they need to release this money. Like when I'm doing loans, I always help the client get through that. But that's not what I was going to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about for the people who are affected by the fires. There's a big lawsuit right now that's going on against Southern California Edison because they believe that sparks came off of that tower and started that fire. So I was made aware of this lawsuit by Elizabeth Yang. She's a friend of mine that she's a city council member of Monterey Park now. She's a really legitimate person. Anyway, she sent me information about it. They're having a town hall Zoom this afternoon. I believe it's at 3 o'clock, and they're going to talk about what the lawsuit is, how it's going to work. But bottom line is, they're doing it on a contingency basis. So you don't pay the lawyer up front. It's not a class action suit where everybody gets 35 cents each and the lawyer gets all this money. They're trying to make everybody whole in this situation. But like I said, they're gonna have a town hall meeting. Like I think it's at 3. I'm gonna put my email address and phone number in there. If you guys want to get the email that came from the law firm that outlines this, then just email me and just tell me you want that information, and I will forward the email to you. And then if you want to get on there, great. If you want to tell your clients about this that possibly lost their house, that's a really good favor to them. They don't have to get on this lawsuit, but like I said, if the lawsuit is won, they're trying to make everybody whole on this thing. So um yeah, and sorry for anybody who has friends or family or clients who have lost their home up there. I have several people that have lost their home, and it's really, really sad. But yeah, so we'll talk about loans next meeting. How about that?
That's great. Thank you. I already emailed you, Scott. And it's not just several hundred people. We're talking about thousands and thousands, like maybe
Yeah,
10,000 more plus structures.
super
So
sad.
This is huge. This is unprecedented in our region for I don't know how long in terms of the devastation and the wind. I saw the video of it sparking from the Edison Tower, so I'm sure everyone's seen all these footage that it is very likely is the source. Um, so unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with. Not burying our power lines underground and
Yeah.
not clearing our brush and all the stuff with Newsom, and there's so much speculation and pointing fingers
Yeah.
at one another. There's a lot of that going on. It's just tragic.
Yeah.
So I don't see Nicole here yet. I'll go to Angie Tang next.
Okay. Hi, Calvin. Thank you for having us at the meeting. It's always nice to see you guys. Today, it's, with a heavy heart, I have to say it's just been such a devastation to our neighborhood. I heard that it was like 7,100 homes. And I think of the 7,100 homes, I believe it was like 100 and almost 140 homes just in Hastings Ranch area. And we haven't even counted, I don't know, the Sierra Madre homes that have been affected. So there's been a lot of our family and friends that have been affected. First American, being industry leaders, we have come up with a portal that will come live to help all those that are in need, because a lot of times the county, or not the county, well, the county will take about 20 plus days to give the information to the homeowners to verify their ownership. So what we're doing is we're doing a portal just for the homeowners that, well, not just, but for the ones that have been affected, to be able to pull up any deeds that they need through our portal, to be able to use that for their home insurance, so they can file their claims or provide proof of insurance. One thing I've been hearing one of my clients call me, or a few of my clients have called me to ask me to help them do, is if their home is in a trust. Some insurance carriers, not all, but some insurance carriers are asking you to remove it from a trust and put it in the individuals before they will accept any claims. So that just means more work for the clients or homeowners, because now they have to go and change the deeds from their trust to their individual names before they can file a claim. So we can help assist with all of those things. It's just such a tragic time. We just need to be there for each other. And on my social media, there is that website for that portal in case any of those that have been affected need to go through that portal to pull any of those documents. It is free of charge. And again, if you go through the county, it takes 20 plus days. That's the last thing they should have to wait for. So we're here to help them rebuild. But with every uh, devastation like this, there's always a seed that can be planted where we can grow together and be stronger as a unit. So here to help all those that are affected. And if anybody needs any other help, please let me know. We are here to help guide and grow. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you. Thanks, Kelvin.
Thank you so much. So I didn't even know that too myself. So I didn't know that the trust, you have to place it back into your personal name, and even what happens if there's something happen in the next 6 months or 9 months, or someone's injured, and then the claim's going through, they haven't got their money yet, and something passes, and then it's a nightmare.
So check with your insurance company, because that's the first thing I did, because not all of them require you to change it back to the individual. So
Right.
everyone is different, but of course there are some that are going to make it more difficult to file a claim. So what I would do is just ask your insurance provider to double check it, because the last thing you want to do is worry about this and in a state of emergency.
Thank you so much. Okay, so your affiliates are well versed and also in the know for a lot of the resources support. So whenever you have clients or you have yourself or family members that are suffering right now as victims, you reach out to a lot of your team, your network. I know there's solutions out there. There's some ways, and I know people are doing um, you know a lot of. I see a lot of rebuilding. I see a lot of support and resources from different areas, and it's kind of at least the bright silver lining is seeing the communities come together, helping one another. One of my friends from high school was bringing resources and all these supplies over to their church and to the fire department. I'm sure there's a lot of stories out there. Um,
Calvin, can I add one more thing? I
sure.
meant to say this. Okay, so I'm in a networking group, and we have a lady that's trying to join our group possibly, and she's what they call a public adjuster. So
Hmm.
what she does is she advocates for people making claims, and it would be like kind of like if a law like you hired a lawyer to like fight the insurance company, but she's more of a person that's trying to get the maximum dollar amount for the people who are making the claims. Her name is
Hmm.
Stephanie Harrison. If you guys want to get a hold of her, um, hit me up too. I put my information in the chat, and I'll connect you to her, and she could explain, how her fees and all that good stuff to see if it's worth it for the people who want to make claims.
Okay.
So anyway, I forgot to say that.
Thank you. No, no, that's very, very cool and resourceful. I'll probably have I'll share it with my client and help her out. So on that tune, I mean, it's a sad story, but I personally sold one house adjacent to the Eaton Canyon fire with my wife. So together, my wife and I sold this property to the buyer. We did represent both the seller and buyer. It was a family home for 60 years with my client. I reached out to the sellers and let them know that their house had burned down, and I talked to the buyer as well. And this lovely property right here on New York Drive, the intersection of Altadena, was burned down. I drove by the other day, and now it looks like night and day. It's just really sad to see this devastation that I personally touched. It was a beautiful home 2 years ago, and it had a lot of wood on it. It was a great big yard. They had the oak tree surrounding, and the entire community of townhomes right behind this property also was burned down. And I realized this when I saw it on ABC 7 News. This was my actually client, and I reached out, called her, and so on that note, let me close my photos real quick. So this has been declared an emergency zone. So it's a national emergency. And so in learning about what's going on, there are now, because of that declaration, a lot of the insurance, at least the major insurance providers, are providing better coverage than their policy actually stated. Okay, so that's the some good news for this. I can't speak for all agencies, but this is related to State Farm, and so they are giving improved limits and whatnot. And what they're doing is obviously it's going to be depend on your own policy. So each client or homeowner who's suffering we'll have to check in and maybe even hire. Maybe it is worthwhile to hire a claims a public adjuster, like Scott mentioned, or to make sure you're getting your fair share. The news around surrounding this is that the insurance companies are gonna try not I'm not trying to make it a negative thing, but they're not going to be giving great upfront offers, or they'll try to minimize um, their coverage by giving probably lower upfront um, offers for payouts and to help them rebuild. We all know as a not all of these homeowners are going to be able to rebuild. Some people are even, based on their age, don't have that desire to move and rebuild their home and wait 3, 4, 5 years of red tape and permits and getting all the whole team together. On the other flip side, sure, there are some people who are rebuilding and they're going to have to find a relocation. So, um, I am hearing that the insurance companies are giving roughly about either 12 months of upfront lease payments. So there is some relief that the tenant does have adequate down payment or reserves. They can pay the landlord upfront a year, 2 years in advance if they wanted to make their application a little bit more favorable. And my advice to you as realtors, if I know some of you are helping out some of these victims, I know Lorena's doing one as well. If you are packaging it together, the rentals that I've seen that are our active listings at the moment, everything is getting a ton of activity. Okay. There's multiple applications. So you do want to maybe have some cover letter You may want to have some background. A lot of these times you might have to exceed the asking rent. Speaking on the asking rent, that's a good segue to what I wanted to talk about too, is I'm jumping all over the place, but this is a letter regarding the DRE. I don't know if you received it, but the associations have been sending out a warning to the landlords and obviously to us agents. We are, as practitioners, as a declared emergency area, it is a criminal offense to do price gouging to the victims, and the state of emergency already been declared. And so what happens is if there are tenants out there seeking a replacement home for the time being, please advise your client about this law. It's anti-price gouging is punishable by a fine of $10,000 and or imprisonment for up to 1 year. Okay. So we want to be kind of just giving that warning to if you're representing a landlord, don't take advantage of these victims. Do not increase your market rent greater than 10% of the market rent. Okay. That is something where I'm speculating personally that there probably will be a lot of tenant-sided housing representatives, attorneys representing the tenants who may potentially be a victim of price gouging and seeking, claims against the landlord after the fact. So maybe they live there for a year or 2 years, and then they'll hire someone to say that they've been victim of this anti-price gouging law. So please, the law says do not charge more than 10% above the market rent. Okay. How that's defined exactly or what comps you're using, that's up to you as a professional. But this is my warning, or this is the state's warning, and the Department of Real Estate and the California Association of Realtors and all the local areas are going to be seeking this. And how are they going to find this out? Well, one, they can just look simply at the market rents of the area. They can look at what you leased it out for last year and compare it to what you did this year. Because it's also a violation if you do improper reporting on the MLS. So if you you cannot just charge a high rent and then publish a false lower rent on the MLS. That's also a violation in itself too. So my advice for you is keep the asking rent within reason. It's another story if the tenant proposes more greater than the asking rent. That's a different story. This is more of your asking rent to me. But obviously, the landlord should, if they are going to be going an exorbitant amount, I want you as a practitioner to be advising your clients, sending them this article or sending them this law. It's it is something that you've warned them to have them seek their own legal attorney or a consultation regarding charging X amount above market rent. Okay, so I'm not an attorney. I don't have that. I can't tell you what is defined as market rent because I believe you'll see in the coming weeks the MLS and a lot of these agents will be publishing what their existing rents, whatever it is that they're charging, and it might be high. So I can't define what is market rent, after the fires or before the fires. That is something that I cannot consult you guys on. But be cautious of this potential imprisonment for 1 year and $10,000 fine. It's not worth it. And just remember, my speech to the landlord would be, keep in mind these are all victims. They're all being displaced, and they're suffering, and they have, there's a lot of going on. Have some compassion, as opposed to the landlord who's always seeking. And then we just had this discussion on one of our listings where I kind of had to step in and talk to the landlord a little bit about this law, and from the landlord's perspective, they're like, "Oh, what matter? What does it matter? The insurance is paying for it. It's not a big deal." So they're sure they have that reasoning, but this is very important for you to have evidence that when you're leasing whatever amount it comes out to, that you've advised them about this price gouging law. Okay? So that's it for this portion. As far as the insurance claims, what I'm hearing now is when you have a lease getting put together, the insured claimant can go ahead and seek about roughly 12 months or plus um, as a immediate advance payment against their policy. So you can ask for an advance payment and seek a replacement home to seek and negotiate with the landlord. There very likely will be multiple applications. So my suggestion is write the cover letter, explain, what this and that, and make sure you package it well because it's going to be very hard even for the listing agents getting so many calls and showings, and you're going to have 20, 30 applicants who want to live in your home, and they're all going to come and propose different amounts of rents. As a listing agent, my advice to you is don't make the determination of whom to select. Put it to the landlord and give them the information. Please don't use any discriminatory remarks or reasons of when you're explaining this applicant versus the other 19 regarding race or gender or family size. Okay, that's something that we should not be using in California regarding screening an applicant. Okay. Now, there's this policy, I'm just, this it's a 10-page document, but for those who've never had an insurance claim before, my suggestion to you is, there are resources available to these claimants who are going through this process. They don't have to rush to the claim, but let's talk about filing a claim real quickly. If you've been impacted by the fire, even if it's just a partial building, and even if you haven't even had any damage, but you have smoke damage to your property, or there's a lot of ashes all throughout your property, you do have the ability to still file a claim for that ashes and the air quality. You will not be negatively charged if it's denied. So if you believe you have some claim or ashes or small damage, you still can file a claim. It shouldn't go against your claim history with your insurance provider. And it's in the state of emergency, the insured, the insurer company, the insurance company may not deny renewals. They have to still give you your policy a year from now. There's like kind of like a moratorium. So all of this is still being there's still going to be a lot more news to come. Let's just say it that way. The insured person should obviously here's some piece of advice, and this is coming from Mark Wu. He did mention and share some good stuff. Read your NHD report, see whether you're in or not in the fire zone. He was also saying and mentioning that the California Fair Plan was a solution for a lot of these insurance carriers who left California. So there are many people in Hastings Ranch and all throughout surrounding areas who have the California Fair Plan. All the companies pitched in money. This is the state plan, and but their coverages are a little bit less than maybe a fully insured, major carrier. So you can I don't know the exact terminology, but the notes I received was that the California Fair Plan can be combined with a DIC policy. Okay, that makes it a normal policy. And when you're looking for insurance carriers, you always should look for an A-rated agency. Now, as far as for the damaged homes, when you're starting your claim, it's a good idea. Make sure you go out and take a lot of different videos and photos and documentation of your property as not just the structure itself, but your personal property. So you might even want to create a separate email for all of your fire claims, your restoration, your contractors, a name of the claim adjuster that you're being assigned. You might want to just create a separate email just for all of this mess that you're going to deal with so you can keep it all in one place. So this is a suggestion, and you sh can go to the city immediately, and you can go and seek, what steps you can take to rebuild. Yeah, when you're ready, you can go find your architect and contractors to start getting you some quotes and estimates about your replacement rebuild costs and estimates and that, because that could be useful for your claim. Because the payout that they initially send to you will probably be lower than what your actual cost of rebuild will be. In some areas, maybe you're very close to the fire zone, or maybe you're on the Pacific Palisades. As a broker, I following what's called building code. It has changed tremendously since many of the majority of homes that were built in the 1950s and 60s. Our code is a lot more stringent. We do have requirements if you're in a high fire zone to build with flame retardant materials, to not have wood type of roof coverings, stuff like that, in which you also have to have a larger setback between you and your backyard from the brush. And so the rebuild will definitely be much more expensive in terms of material wise. Secondly, you might not even build the same amount of size, if anything. Because of the new setback laws, you might not be able to get your grandfathered non-conforming structure the same way. It might have to be taking and stripping away some of that land. The new laws do apply, which might allow for an ADU or a junior ADU if you have a larger lot size. But the big factor that I'm also considering is all of the homes that are along the Pacific Ocean. If you have a beachfront or shoreline property, or you're up in the hills of Pacific Palisades, some of those homes might not even be developable because they're too close to the rising sea tide of the ocean. And it may be not even very cost effective because you might have to build a barrier, kind of like your foundation. You might have to build a retaining seawall to prevent the rising sea tide from damaging your structure. And that's something that's really a ludicrous amount of expense that goes towards a setback, kind of like, I'm sorry, towards a retaining seawall. So it might not be cost effective, and some of those shorefront homes might not even be able to rebuild whatsoever. So that's unfortunate for those in the Palisades. Um, any comments right now from any of you guys? Okay, nothing. So, getting into some resources. This is from the CAR. So I'm going to go through this email. I'll make it a little bit larger so we can see it in a better, a larger screen. So there are many different resources available. Okay. There is the CAR Disaster Relief Fund, for example, offering grants of up to $10,000 to assist realtors members with their recovery. Okay. Um, you can apply for this grant, and if you're a realtor, you suffered from this, you can co-apply for numerous types of funds and relief in a variety of sources. My suggestion is go ahead and try different variety of areas for resources because FEMA is another source. If your insurance only goes and covers you, maybe you have a very limited small policy and it doesn't give you the full replacement value, FEMA might be able to, federal emergency, they might be able to help you with the difference, the gap between the actual cost and the insured payout. So that's one another resource that's available to you guys as well. Thirdly, I haven't heard of any of you agents out there, but Coldwell Banker is doing something really special for any agents that are with the Coldwell Banker affiliation. If you or a staff, if you've been directly impacted, not a family member or relative, if you have been directly impacted, let me know. I can put your name in, and Coldwell Banker will also help you with some resources. So if you have some claim and you have some damage to your home, please let me know. I'll be happy to put your name through in the Coldwell Bankers resources as well. NAR is also helping nationally the realtors, so you can ask for the Relief Foundation and put in your name into to receive some donations and get get your name on there as a potential victim. And this is a good piece of advice for your friends or family. You can ask for mortgage forbearance. This state of emergency is applicable of a hardship. So if they don't, they don't have to necessarily make their monthly payments to their mortgage right now, especially if their claims have not come through yet or been processed. It's going to be maybe it's not going to just be a 1 month. It's going to be many months of claim adjustment and payouts and calculations. And there's just so many homes. This is going to take a long time. So you can call your mortgage division, ask for forbearance. What is forbearance? Simply put, it just basically puts a pause on your mortgage payment. And so for the next 6 months or 1 year, I don't know how long the forbearance period they'll give you, but let's just say they give you 1 year of 12 months. That forbearance, you make no payments, and it'll just tack on the 12 months to the back end of your 30-year mortgage. So it'll become a 31-year mortgage, for example, if that's what they give you. So it'll just tack it on and add the time in at the back end, but it allows them to just get things together, not worry about the mortgage payments. I guarantee you, if they call your mortgage service provider, they have a division that will help you get to this forbearance process quickly and simply. Okay? It's available for all FHA, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae loans. Okay? No penalties for up to 12 months. If you have a private lender, that's not part of this. If you have a non-conforming loan or a private financing, I'm pretty sure you can try to call your investor or private financing and ask them for some forbearance. Maybe they will show some compassion. There is, if you have a business that was impacted, the SBA has a disaster relief loan available to you as well. So not only homes and structures, there are many commercial buildings. There's a many, offices and services and even markets. And, if you know any clients who have a business that's been impacted, they can also try to reach out for the SBA for a relief loan, okay, to rebuild, maybe find another location, a branch, or whatnot. Okay, so there's so much cool resources available and coming through all throughout, so many variety of sources. So you can also get a EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So if you want this information, I will share this with the team um, after the meeting. I'll send this in so you can click on each link, share it with your clients by all means. I want you as a realtor to be being resourceful, to be a point of contact for help and advice and guidance. Obviously, you don't, file the claim or you don't do all the stuff, but you can be next to them. And I think in this dire time of need, an agent who sticks with their clients and helps them with disasters and helps them point them to relief, you'll be someone that's a champion in their minds and hearts of care and champions of just being a great person and volunteering for X different amount of things or physically donating to them. All that stuff is you're building hero points in their books that hopefully they will refer you to others. They might have friends and family. Guess, these homeowners, they know, 10 different families on their block as well. So you could be building, your reputation and building new relationships to those of the that you've helped. So, go ahead and ask them and call your past clients. Go call the peoples in the surrounding areas and let them know you want to help. You want to share some news or relief. Some articles on this and that. Okay. Now you can go to various phone numbers and call for a guidance as well. So Prop 19 is your preserving your property tax. Just letting you know that if the homeowner does do a replacement property that's obviously going to be of greater value in the future, um, there is some resource here to transfer your existing property tax base to their other damaged house to a replacement home anywhere in California, and you can take your property tax anywhere you repurchase. So let's just say you were in Hastings Ranch, Pasadena, and you move into, I don't know, Orange County because it's so beautiful over there. Well, yeah, you can take that. It's a participating county. You could buy a home in Orange County, and boom, you have that same tax basis. There's adjustment for the upward. Let's just say it's a 900,000 value, and you buy, 1.1 million. There is a small calculation for the replacement property, but it's insignificant. Okay. Now, the Department of Insurance of California has announced that 1 year moratorium on no more non-renewals or cancellations of homeowner insurance policies for those that have been impacted by the wildfires. So it's Palisades, the Eden fires. This protection lasts for 1 year, and you can just share this, and you can tell if your zip code or if you're in the area. You can click on this link. I'll share this with you guys after the meeting. And as regarding the FAIR plan, approximately 22% of the structures in the Pacific Palisades fire and 12% of those in the Eaton fire were covered by the FAIR plan. So this exposure for the California exceeds $4 billion and 775 million respectively. So these covered claims will be paid and supported by reinsurance and whatnot. So there's some resources if you want to read on here. The price gouging is reminded to us realtors. There's a quick guide on price gouging laws. So definitely share this with your landlords who might be seeking to use this as an opportunity for personal gain. Keep it within and less than 10% of the market rent. Okay. It is illegal to charge above 10% threshold for these potential rentals. And I just don't want them to be going with to have fines of $10,000 or going to jail for this. So there's going to be investigations going on, and they will look at the MLS data. They will see what you've published the MLS rental amount is, and let's take a look at this quick guide real quick, because I know there are some people who are even opening up their own homes and renting a room out maybe, or maybe they're going ahead and giving it to, or they have a ADU or a back unit. That's good that they could open up or try to help out some of these victims. So just letting you know, you can read up on this. Do not increase goods or services greater than 10%. That includes rental housing. So it includes your own property for rent over 10%. And how is this calculated and determined? For housing rented within 1 year prior to the declared state of emergency, the actual rental price paid by the tenant compared to the market rents before the emergency. Um, So this calculation that has never been housed or not rented for a long time, it should be one up to 160% of the fair market rent established by the HUD. And you can go to the HUD figures and access this link if they haven't rented it out for a long time. So there's a chart. If you are going to rent something out, check and review this chart. Let your landlord review it. It'll help you as a listing agent put the appropriate market rent and really just not be liable for some of these penalties that will eventually come and resurface with the tenant housing attorneys. Any questions on that? Now, just like you saw in the big giant wildfires in Lahaina, Maui last year, there is a executive order not to send below market offers to these victims for the next 3 months. So sure, they've been devastated. They lost their home. They're going through an insurance process. Please do not try to take this as an opportunity to send them, well, I'll buy your land. give me, for X amount. Do not give them below market offers. And so if you are speculating on land, definitely read this order that prevents you or you should not make below fair market value. And there's a lot of different things for you to read here. So that way you are not deemed one of those, greedy investors who are trying to swallow up land at and take advantage of the situation. If you want to listen to any of the town halls, there's low hope, but there's one today right now at 1 o'clock as well. If you want, you can read this and join it, and they'll be talking a lot more about uh, resources and how to help our members, okay, and our clients. Any questions on that? Nothing? Okay. So let's try to get into business side of things as well. But if anyone have any questions on anything, it doesn't have to be related to the fires. Does anyone have any questions? Let me check the chat real quick before I get into our new listings. Okay, nothing there. So for the Arcadia branch, the new listings we have, and before I even start with the new listings, let me stop real quick. Activity wise, don't forget a lot of these people out there who've been victims will be getting um, payouts in the coming months. They'll be getting a lot of different monies. I don't know how many, but I could imagine a good 50% looking not to rebuild and just looking for and purchase another property. Sure, they might still have their job and they got income and they don't want to rent, they want to buy. Okay. There is an opportunity for you realtors to help some of these people and find them a home to purchase. I have already noticed that several of the active listings that we had prior to the fires, they were what you would call labeled sitting on the market for 40 days. Plus, no activity, no showings, it's quiet. Guess what? Within the last 7 and 10 days, I checked in with the listing agent and they got all of their they got it sold. It's under contract. And these there is a high demand right now for not only rentals but also for homes for sale. If you know any sellers or potential people on the fence of potentially selling their property, it is a good opportunity right now to open up that home, put it for market for sale. I'm pretty sure you can work out a license to remain on the property if the seller needs more time to stay, like 3 more months after closing or 2 more months. So you can negotiate these out, get another listing, and I'm pretty sure you'll get pretty good activity for your listings right now. Go and be a listing agent right now. It's a very, very good to be able to just offer that housing to a victim as well. Um, the anti-gouging law does not apply to homes for sale. So you can charge whatever you want, and if you get 5 offers, competing against each other, you can treat it like a normal multiple situation, best and final, and you'll have good activity. So I'm happy to see, even I know Julia had a listing that didn't sell, and she got several offers recently this past week. So you are starting to see more demand on the buy side. And it's unfortunate for those who were buyers prior to the fires because it's also going they have now a whole new added demand that they're competing against, and the rates are still relatively high. We're in this, 6.5, 7% range. So it's not the worst case scenario, but we're also not in a very attractive financing scenario as well. So um, the only way you're going to get more business or more listings, you got to talk to more people and try to just be prudent but tasteful how you talk to your clients and seeking some business. So Anna Hui has a new listing here in Pasadena, 3635 Landfair Road, and it's a nice $1.9 million property with a huge 97-98 lot, 2459 square feet. Talk to her if you have any clients looking for this Pasadena single family. We also have Doreen Tuan has 2900 Shakespeare in San Marino. It's only offered for 6,300. I'm sorry, this just leased out. Okay, so this is just leased, and this one actually is very, very attractive rent, 6,300. I'm hearing people getting above $3 a square foot for the rentals right now in this greater San Gabriel Valley region. So this one seemed to be at 250, so this was a good deal for that tenant. As for the closers, Doreen and Tammy did close 333 Arroyo Drive, Unit J in San Gabriel. Sold at 700. This is asking for 769,000 for this very reasonable San Gabriel condominium. Only 770. And so let me pull up my MLS real quick because I did have Temple City as well here. All right. So we do want to recognize Kayla Chang has 816 Naomi Ave, number 18, Arcadia. Brand new listing this morning. So this is a very reasonable rent. It's under $3 a square foot. You got 3,400 per month for a two-bedroom, 1642. That's pretty spacious for a two-bedroom. Good location right here in Arcadia. Talk to her if you have any renters. By all means, she'll probably have a lot of showings in the next, several days because they're, be active if you're helping out any of these renters. We also have 6965 Ferncroft Ave, San Gabriel. It says 6,500 per month, but it's under contract. We had way too many applications, and the rental amount is the proposals are way greater than this. So this is already leased out. They're signing today, I think. 789 Hawthorne Place. 4 days on the market. This is only 629,000, and it has a single family that also has a converted ADU. Three bedrooms, two baths for this nice looking property here as well for sale. Uh, I want to give the credit to Julia. Julia, do you want to say anything about your new listing?
Hello, yeah, this one we reduced price so 629. So I got one cash offer today, but we need counter.
Good, congratulations. Give him a counter. But hey, if you have anyone looking, I mean, you got a nice, ready to move in property. It's got a decent lot and a nice little craftsman home right here. So congratulations on getting an offer. And I know you're still doing your open house this weekend.
Yeah, still whoever want to do open house, I welcome. Oh, Saturday already somebody take it and Sunday only.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for letting us know. So timing is everything, guys. 1204 Sierra Vista Ave, Alhambra, another rental, which is very only $2.10 a square foot for a three-bedroom. So if you have any clients, this looks like a duplex property, and they have something that's move-in ready. They can get in at only 3,300. It looks pretty good in shape, recently remodeled-ish, and they can move in right away. It's just 4 days on the market. Congratulations to Winnie Bai for your new rental. We also have, sorry, my computer's thinking. We do have a property for 400,000. This is going to be a restaurant business opportunity for sale. The restaurant was recently established last year, and it's Kim Hua Hue. I'm sorry for the Vietnamese. I can't pronounce it correctly, but this building offered some pho. I've been here before once. So this is a restaurant for sale. It's got all the equipment. Looks recently renovated, and the rent's about 11,000 a month. So this business is for sale, 400,000. This is listed by Lara Sitong Liu. Let her know if you have any clients looking for a restaurant. Doesn't have to be Vietnamese food. And we have 333 Arroyo. This we covered already. This is for sale at 769,000. 1027 Grass Valley Road, Lake Arrowhead. 689,000. This is right near next to Big Bear. You got a three-bedroom, two and a half, as 2,500 square feet living area with a big 12,000 lot. So this just came back on the market. Talk to Angel Lau. There's a lockbox. You can go direct. Very motivated seller. And it's very nice to be up in the mountains, not during a fire, but hey, you're just a block or two away from the Lake Arrowhead shorefront. It's a gorgeous home. At an improved lower price. And hopefully, some people out there who want to do some work from home, this would be a great opportunity to have a gorgeous home, have nature surrounding you, and for a reasonable 690 price. 1316 Hellman Ave in Alhambra. For 1.49 million, you get a six-bedroom, three-bath, 2,907 square feet with a almost 11,690 square foot lot size. This is a single family that has probably additional structure. Talk to Joseph Wong if you have this listing. I actually did walk this property last week. This has been converted into a single family, a large single family, with potential for three separate rentals. They do have what's called two existing tenants who are paying good rents, and there is one unit vacant. This is the vacant one. Recently remodeled, you got newer flooring. They have a deck out here, and the second floor has its own unit above. So you're getting kind of like a three unit for 1.49 million. Motivated seller. This is a reduced price from the past. And talk to Joseph Wong if you have anyone interested in this. This has a very good location right here on near Atlantic Boulevard and Hellman. It's Chaps Lane, Fontana. We have a 635,000 single family. It's a four-bedroom, two bath for 1,427 square feet. Um, I think Julia, you have this one. You have anything you want to speak on this?
I'm sorry, this one is a totally remodel, so very beautiful and very good. A lot of people come on the open house. We have two open house already, so I think we're going to, yeah, have the transaction very soon.
Oh, right. Good.
Very
I'm happy
beautiful.
for you. It's a very beautiful remodeled home. It looks totally move-in and well done on the bathrooms and the kitchen that I saw. So very cool. Congratulations on this one.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you get this one pending. And 4021 Durfee Ave, Unit A. This is probably the front unit, El Monte for 689,000. We have a townhouse for 1,350 square feet. And this just hit the market 2 weeks ago, right near the 10 freeway, near Peck Road in Durfee. So this location is really close to City Hall of El Monte, and low 100 monthly HOA fee. Jennifer Huang has this listing for sale. Let her know if you have any clients interested in a nice, affordable townhouse. We have 1893 Taormina Court, Riverside, for sale, 565,000. It's a 2007 year built, and it's a beautiful property for only 565,000. Congratulations to Shanae Lamb. This property, yeah, right here by the 215. and a nice 1657 square feet. And we have in Rosemead, 3312 Evelyn Ave. For 1.495 thousand million, you have a 2,900 square feet, seven bedroom, four baths. This triplex is in the heart of Rosemead. It's a big lot of 9573. And talk to Shanae Lam. I'm sorry, this is Steve Hang. Talk to Steve Hang if you have any clients interested in this triplex. You can see some of the photos over here. All right, and moving on, we have 11912 Arthur Drive in Anaheim. This is active under contract. So that's it for today's new listings and pendings. Let me stop sharing real quick. And anyone have any comments or questions on anything before we conclude today's meeting? Does anyone have any opposition because of the caravan moving to 9 a.m. for Arcadia? I'm thinking about either selecting 10:30 a.m. on Wednesday or 11 a.m. for our sales meetings from this point forward. Does anyone have any opposition against it? Does anyone have a preference for 10:30 or 11? If
No
not,
comment. No comment.
you'll I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you coming in on the every other week. So cool. Thanks, Adam. I'll probably move it to 11 a.m. and that way we could finish the sales meeting. The only problem I had was caravan, and some of you guys love the caravan. It might be it might, but you can still caravan before the meeting. That's probably I'm gonna make a determination with management. Okay. So other than that, it's been great to have you here at the meeting, and I really do. My hearts and prayers go out to all of the victims and surrounding areas and the families out there victimized by these wildfires. There's just so much going on. There's a lot of finger pointing. There's a lot of politics going on. There's a lot of claims. So I just, I can only do my part. Reach out to your clients, reach out to those impacted, be helpful and resourceful, have some compassion, and help these people find new homes. They have family members in the areas of Pasadena or Altadena. They have relatives. They have or know a neighbor who I'm pretty sure all of us have someone we know who's been a victim. So just be 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 that agent in time of need, and ask for what you can do to help. Okay. So thank you all for being here. That's it for today.